Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to TTRP Theatre. You're joining us tonight for Broken Nights, our interpretation of City of Mists, Knights of Paintown. My name is Mark, for the Cthulhu Kid. My pronouns are he, him. I'll be a storyteller for this evening, hopefully many evenings to come. Before we get started, I'd just like to say that this campaign deals with a lot of issues such as mental health, violence, suicide. So be kind to yourself, look after yourself. We will now do, one more thing. We're missing 2 players. They should be here in the next episode. Before we actually start, everyone will introduce themselves and then we'll get going. So let's start with, to my top right, Lani.
Hello, I am Lonnie, and I will be playing Brooke Madison. She's a quiet college student. She kind of keeps to herself. She always has her nose in a book. So.
And Tim.
Hello, I'm Tim. I will be playing Dr. Elwood Green, Doctor of Botany, professor at the City University. And yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Mr. Skirmish.
Hi there, my name's Izzy Skirmish, and you don't know me, but you could know me if you join us over on the TTRP Discord server. Links in the chat and the description below. I am playing Orville Rickenbacker, the embodiment of apathy.
Oh, I forgot that.
No, you don't have to. Keep some mystery, you know. And on to Flurp.
In the interest of keeping up mystery, I use 18 different names interchangeably. One of them is Grockamiri, and 3 sets of pronouns, one of which is B. Bimbos. And I will be playing Vanessa Milstead, the most glamorous neighborhood witch who lives down by the docks that no one ever wants to admit visiting, whose pronouns are she, her.
And with that, we will cut to the camera high above the city. It's not the city as it is now. This is decades before. The rain is falling in sheets. The mist is much thicker than our characters will know. Camera falls towards a massive tower, still under construction. Through a window, see 2 people sitting, draped in shadows. One hunched over the table, the other covering their face with their hands. A voice comes from the hunched figure. Disappointing. Not unexpected, but disappointing nevertheless. I'd like to give you a gift before you go. We can hear something slide across the table. The figure with the hands on their face sobs and picks it up. The lightning flash reveals a mirror, its surface cracked, and a face covered in tears. Face drowning in tears. The woman says nothing as she stands up, takes the mirror, begins to laugh. Lightning flashes again, and we find ourselves inside the refrigerator of one Orville Rickenbacker. As he opens the door. What are you doing, Orville?
Orville stares at his empty fridge, bereft of anything except for a single quart of milk and a box of baking soda that appears to have molded over. He grabs the quart of milk and brings it over to the sink, pulls a pickle jar that appears to have been rinsed out from the sink, places it on top, grabs a colander, puts it on top of the pickle jar, and strains his milk into the pickle. Dumping out the solids, he drinks deeply from the cup and thinks about his day. Not particularly caring on who he has to meet, but knowing that he is required to be at a library in approximately an hour and a half. Walking out the door, he is wearing clothing that he has worn for the last 3 days. It is his mailman uniform. And on the way out, he stops at the cigarette tray at the front of his apartment, grabs a handful of buds out of it, and walks down the street.
As you walk down the street, Orville, it's raining. We didn't say there would be rain today. It wasn't on the forecast. It started as soon as you stepped out of the door.
Well, I needed to shower anyway.
The water's already pooling along the street and filling up the potholes rather quickly. Cars come by, one splashes onto your trousers. No new stains are added, or at least none that you can tell.
It might even be cleaner.
This is entirely possible. Are you doing anything before you reach the library?
Orville is keeping his head down, trying to find any cigarettes that are just mostly unsmoked on the pavement. If they're wet now, they'll be dry later.
Exactly. Managed to find a couple, one outside, so let in the door outside of an off license. Is it called an off license in America? So a liquor store. Place is closed down though. Windows are smashed. It's been a while. Otherwise, the trip to your journey to the library is uneventful. You almost get knocked down once or twice. A bird shits on you. Part for the course, really.
Yeah. I call it.
By the time you reach the library,
At least I didn't get robbed this time.
That's why I said uneventful. When you get to the library, rain is falling even harder. You open the doors and you can smell a wet mass of people. It's the university library. There's always students, things in there, but the weather's like this, coming down so hard. You get a lot of people that are houseless or nothing else, nothing for them to do. Unemployed students and your friends, or at least the group that's becoming your friends. They're sitting at a table at the back. What are the three of you doing as Orville comes in?
Brooke is doing homework. Wouldn't expect anything else from her. She's very focused on her studies. So she probably wouldn't notice him walk up because she's has earbuds in and she's just focused.
And what does Brooke look like sitting there with her earbuds in?
She is probably like average height. She is not super thin, but like not athletic. So she's like average build. She has short hair that has like blue tint at the bottom of it. And yeah.
I was listening. I just had to listen to the little monster as well.
You sired it.
And this is true, yes. Which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah. If Brooke is done describing herself, you'll see Elwood sitting over there. He's one of the plants over there. That's why he's over there. He's taking care of the bush that's there. You see him in the various places in libraries. So you see him wandering around from plant to plant, talking to him and crouching down at their level, playing with the dirt. eventually wanders back to the table. But Elwood is, quickest description I can think of is think Hagrid. That tall with the beard and all stuff. That's how a sleeper would see him. But Riffs, they see him for what he is, which is pretty much a green man. All leaves and bark and vines. Typically what appears to be wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Sandals. And cargo pant boxers. But to a sleeper, he's covered in vine tattoos and plants and other things, and little creatures seem to be peeking out from his tattoos. But the Riffs will see it as actually vines and stuff that grow above and around the skin, and there are creatures popping in and out of them, like poof, and then they disappear back. And when he's talking to the plants, they seem to perk up. But then he sits down and asks, well, Brooke, how's your homework going?
He looks up and then takes out her earbud, and she's like, I don't know why I'm in this class. I know everything already. I guess I'm just taking it for credit at this point.
It's for the paper, yes. Sometimes with somebody with your knowledge existing before this, yeah. You're a rarity, Brooke.
Yeah.
What's Vanessa doing?
So there's a lot of words that we use to describe women who have larger bodies: chubby, saftig, curvy. Vanessa is none of those things. Vanessa is fat, gorgeous, and almost instinctively working it at all times. She has a jowly face with a mouth-sized match, slathered in a red lipstick, strong chin, small nose, no neck, and visibly high cheekbones, big hoop earrings, cool skin tones, platinum blonde hair worn up in a wavy style that reminds you of nothing more than slow flames. Her eyebrows are plucked into a high arch, and she fills the space beneath with blue eyeshadow. Eyelashes even mascaraed to the edges of her eyelids to give her a bit of a cat eye appearance. And she is, as always, wearing a long, tight, strapless black silk dress that very much displays the noirishly, ridiculously jeweled nautilus shell necklace around her neck. Riffs, who look at her, would see the dress twirling as if its ends in tentacles around the wheelchair in which she sits. And she's been, world setting check. Are there laptops and Wi-Fi in this setting or no?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Laptops and internet, do they exist in our version of
Yes, they do, yes.
So she's on a laptop looking through city records for possible squats, places that are abandoned that nobody will check in on, but that still have services and addresses to which you can get mail to establish residency. It's the kind of grunt work that a lot of anarchists do. And piled up next to that are books of ethnobotany and chemistry that she looks at while she's waiting for records to load or people to get back to her emails. And she's actually probably the first to recognize that Orville's there. And she looks at him and says, Orville, darling, you can help with this research. Thank all the gods that you were here.
Vanessa, we're in the library. Don't scream.
Oh, honey, if I was screaming, it would be a much higher pitch in the bedroom. This is just talking.
What do you need me to do?
Turns the laptop around and kind of pushes it at him. It's covered in stickers to make it look, and some of which have been intentionally torn off, to make it look like it's old and I don't care about it, but it's actually much higher model than you would expect. Pushes it at him. Look through these records and tell me which ones have any activity within the last, well, delete all records that on my spreadsheet that have had any activity in the last 3 months. We need to narrow it down. Otherwise, if we're going to house any of the people who living in the docks.
Sure. And Orville takes the laptop like he's never held one before and single finger starts pecking at the keyboard.
Leave it well on the table, dear. I do know how clumsy you can be.
Sure. Puts the keyboard down. What's a spreadsheet?
As soon as Orville comes over to the table, Dr. Elwood summons a plant discreetly onto the table that lets out a nice aroma to cover up the sour milk smell that's drifting his way.
Yeah, Vanessa doesn't seem to react to the smell at all. She deals with enough homeless folk that smells are nothing to her. And though she lets out a little sigh, she just starts instructing him on how to use a computer spreadsheet, like in Microsoft Excel.
Can't we just print this out? Like I can do, if you could just print out all of your documents, I can go through that a lot faster. Like it is like I sort mail for a living. If you're going to give me things to sort, it would probably be easier for all of us if it was just in paper form.
Brooke will close her book and like put it back in her bag. I'll be like, Vanessa, I just finished my paper if you want me to help.
Thank you. That would be such a dear. And while you're at it, look for ones that have garden space. I think you and I could really do much if we had a garden that, shall we say, certain blue-clad authorities might not discover.
She'll like scoot the laptop away from.
I hear nothing.
And Orville, they do have these in paper copies. It could be useful to have you working on it as well. Let me go request that from the librarian. And she wheels herself back and away from the table in her wheelchair, but doesn't actually wait till she gets to the library desk before she says, "Librarian, darling, please come and help. I would request some help, please."
Since Vivian's not here, Vivian Tuesday, one of the other members of your group, it's a young woman called Sandra who comes over very flustered. Sorry, you're Vivian's friends, aren't you?
Yes. You're, Sharon, was it?
Sandra, yeah. There's someone here that wanted to speak to Miss Tuesday. When I said that she wasn't here, he asked for her friends, and I didn't want to just send them over.
Oh, well, I think do be a dear and send him over if you would. And after you do so, if you wouldn't mind going and fetching the city records for all of the real estate activity within the docks over the last 2 years or so in dead tree form, and bring them to my
all of them
friend over there.
I've not been here, but I'll try. I'll send the man over to you. Okay, and it's for the last year you wanted?
Yes, a year is enough for now. We can do the year before that a little bit later.
I think I can do that. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I'll get that done. Don't worry. She walks off, just her head kind of bowed down, shoulders heavy. You see her talking to a man wearing a sort of fedora, but not kind of trendy sort of thing. This is well used, dirty. Sits on his head as if it's never come off. Trench coat soaked through in the rain. Unlit cigarette. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
There's unlit cigarette hanging from his mouth, tapping his feet impatiently, waiting for Sandra to speak to him. When she does, he looks over and you see the smile come up. The cigarette almost falls from his mouth. And he smiles as if he knows all of you and just blinks and heads right towards you, Vanessa.
Would you, just to get an idea of who he is real quick while he's watching, would you believe that I could use Poor Unfortunate Souls and You'll Fall in Love with Me, and maybe Which No One Wants to Admit to Visiting, to do an investigation?
You certainly can. That is a very good role to do.
Where'd my chat go in roleplay? There you are. So I get 3 clues.
Wait a minute. Why is that power 5?
That is strange. Oh, you know what? I think I was doing a test roll before and I didn't unclick.
Yeah,
things.
you can click on reset. So if you re-roll it.
Okay. Give me one moment to find out where the thing is that I did clicked.
So if you look up at the top, it's got the power thing.
Oh yeah, no, it's hunting down the power tags that were still clicked. That's what it was.
Okay, but if you do reset, it'll unclick them all automatically.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
No, don't worry about it. It's okay.
There we go.
You get 3 clues with your 3 power.
What? How does he seem to be placed socioeconomically?
Just before you do that, you don't need to use all 3 clues right now. You can save them for later in the scene as well.
Okay.
Just because it's the first roll. His clothes were once expensive, baby. He holds himself fairly confidently. Definitely not a rich person, but someone who's used to definitely not downtrodden. You get the kind of idea that he's a bit of a chancer, someone that's not always on the legal side of the law.
And what sort of, if I can get an idea of sort of what sort of secret desires he might have.
Reputability. He wants very much to find find this place, and not be always trying to do things in the back. Behind closed doors. He wants respectability. He wants to achieve something. He doesn't really care how he does it.
In which case, as he approaches, without even having told my friends yet, I will greet him a little bit louder than I've been speaking. Darling, didn't I see you at the mayor's party last week?
He stops, takes his hat off and bows to you. See the bald patch on his head. I'm sorry, miss. If I had been at the mayor's party last week, I'm certain I would have remembered a beauty such as yours. Sammy Jefferson Jr. at your service.
Nice to meet you as well. I am sorry for the mistaken identity. You look just like one of the mayor's aides. I have some friends. Please, they would be graced by your visit.
But I said the name seems familiar to you. You're not sure where you've heard it, but it's definitely familiar. Okay. He follows you along. You're not very far away, but he's still trying to make small talk as he goes. So you were at the mayor's party. How was it? How were the people there? Who do you know that got you in there?
It was lovely, darling. They had the best canapes. I was there as a perhaps uncomfortable reminder that of the mayor's son. He seemed to have a moment of nostalgia for the time when he once knew me.
Very nice. You need to tell me more about that later.
As they're coming closer, would we be able to tell if he is a rift? I do not know enough of the setting.
Well, you wouldn't, not necessarily, but you can probably tell if he's a sleeper. You know what I mean? There'll be some people you can tell are rifts, and some people you can't be sure, but then there's people you can tell are sleepers, and this guy is a sleeper. He has no idea whatsoever.
That was the key, just a key point for observation.
Was it James Jefferson Smith? Was that the name?
Sammy Jefferson Jr.
Sammy Jefferson Jr. Friends, this is Sammy Jefferson Jr. He, I think, has something to say to us. Or to Vivian, at least, but we can pass the message along, don't you think?
Well, in her absence, definitely.
Yeah.
He takes his hat off, gives you all a smile.
This is
Sits
Dr.
down.
Elwood Green, Doctor of Botany at the university. His much more intelligent student, Brooke, and Orville.
Got a cigarette?
Well, he pats his pocket, gives you one out.
Orville lights it up immediately.
Not. I reach over to pinch it out. Not in the library, Orville.
Hey. Look, this place already smells like moldy paper. It's tobacco. It's good for you.
You hear Sandra tut and look over and then say to herself, Miss Tuesday will be back tomorrow. She'll be back tomorrow. It's okay. Just today, just let it go. Jefferson sits down, puts his hat on the table, his feet, he starts to raise his feet to go up onto it and then thinks better of it, sits down.
What would you like, Sammy? Can you message me? I have some papers to grade here.
Of course. Let's get down to business. We all, our time is precious. I was told that Miss Tuesday would like to look into things, her and her friends. And I presume that you are those friends, yes?
Sure.
I reach over and close my laptop.
From time to time, yes, we've assisted her.
Here's the thing. I own a little club downtown called the Washboard. And I swear I have the best soul singer in the entire damn city. She's down on her luck a little bit, and I was lucky enough to be able to give her a place to sing. Now, Martha is talent. She is a great talent, and she's on her way back up. No, and what? Look, I'm not sure what's happening. All I know is that if it keeps going on, it could derail our chance of making it to the big time.
You're saying something's happening. Can you tell us? What do you mean by this? I mean, if he's being stalked?
Possibly. There have been a couple of, should we say, incidents recently.
Have you notified the
unfortunate
police?
Incidents.
Have you notified the authorities? Vanessa,
Giggles,
proper
Vanessa.
procedure. Okay. I take that as a no.
Of course we have. In fact, these aren't really to do with the club at all. I'm more worried about Mark. Started a couple of weeks ago. There was a man, Darnell Fox, and he was found dead in Martha's presence. Now, as far as the coroner said, it is heart failure. Just died. But Martha saw someone there. A skinhead guy covered in tattoos, a hoodie. And she said that he dropped dead right when this guy came. It was shocking to her. She was giving him a private song, a private rendition. I dropped dead. Now, that in itself would be fine. You know, police notified someone has a heart attack. Not a problem. There have been 2 more deaths. Both times, this creep, the skinhead, has been there. Once Martha's been there. She was talking to the other victim beforehand, but she wasn't there. And I'm worried that this is going to push her over the edge. Martha had some problems before.
So she knew 2 of the victims is what I gathered there, at least?
She knew all three.
She knew all three victims.
Knew them how? All clients?
No, not at all. Two of them were patrons of the washboard, and the other was, well, she didn't know the third victim. The third victim died at the funeral of his son, where Martha was singing. I'd got her the gig from a friend of mine that owns the mortuary.
Are you sure it wasn't just a carbon dioxide leak?
Well, the one out in the open, no. And the one at the club, definitely not, because I think Martha and Cyrus might have died there as well. The only common thread is that this guy, this thug, turns up.
What was her name again? Sorry, Mark, I missed that.
Martha Ellis.
Martha Ellis.
Yeah, the Elwood, Vanessa, both of you would know the name. She was a very famous soul singer. What would they call her? Sorry, give me a wee second. And I didn't mean mortuary before I meant funeral.
Like a church singer?
No. She was
Club singer. I'm thinking, or is what?
Yeah.
Or,
She now does the clubs, the jazz and the
Lounge.
blues
Okay.
clubs. Loud singer. Thank you very much.
That's the word. I've heard Martha sing, actually.
Look, did you see her at the washboard, or was this earlier in her career?
Here and there, I don't make it out to the clubs as much as I would like. There are some singers I have complicated relationships with.
I know that feeling. There's certain singers that I really do not want back.
So this person, or whatever it is, only seems to turn up whenever either Martha is there or has been there.
was Martha singing each time that this man appeared?
Well, not the second time. The second victim happened at the her apartment. We only know because Martha was talking to her on the phone before, and then the doorman gave a little bit of information.
You said that was at. You said that was at her apartment.
Yeah, that not Martha's apartment. That was at her Tiffany Bancroft. Her husband is one of those hedge fund managers, but she used to frequent the club a little bit with her friends. Always seemed kind of, sad, down. He came once. I didn't like him much. Flashed his money around though. So.
But he was talking to Martha before he died.
Yeah, Tiffany was talking with Martha. There's people with that kind of soul tend to get along. Yeah, that's might sound a bit harsh, but these people that are, depressed or feeling down, and they seem to find each other, and they can get help.
Vanessa's going to actually interrupt him, but pitch her voice quieter than she's been wont to, and just interrupt him by saying, "Private songs, visits to their apartment. Is Martha moonlighting, perhaps?" If you catch me.
No, not at all. Martha is very serious about getting her career back on track. She's the most soulful voice of the city.
I've heard at least one that might be a contender.
And where is Martha now?
Martha will be getting ready to sing at the club tonight.
You said you contacted the boys in blue. They often have their doctors investigate the blood and the organs.
Yeah, there was no blood. There's just heart failure.
But was there?
What they're saying is just heart failure.
I can think of any number of ways to cause heart failure. Is there a toxicology?
I'm sure you can. Look, I was told that Miss Tuesday could help. That you all.
No.
I'm worried about Martha. That's all. We have a big gig coming up. I want her to be in the right place mentally. And if there is some thug out there that's after her, that's stalking her, then, maybe you could take care of him.
Okay, well, maybe we'll
Make
visit
it
and
worth your
talk with her a little later. Is she going to be at the club tonight?
She will be at the club tonight. She'll be
Is
getting
she-
a set.
Is she already there where we maybe talked to her before or after?
I would talk to her after. Right now, she's preparing, getting herself into the mood. You know how artists are.
Yes. You guys want to go to a show tonight? Looking at the rest. Orville, you're going to need to shower and maybe change out of the post office clothes, or at least put on some clean ones, though.
I mean, I can put on other clothes. I can't say they'll be clean. I got other clothes.
He just sighs. Oh.
We can stop by the public closets. There's all kinds of kind souls. I look directly at Sammy while I say this, just to further butter up his ego. All kinds of kind souls who are generous enough with their wealth to donate suitable clothing to the indigent.
What'd you just call me?
You are not indigent, but we can take advantage of the services all the same.
Orville's walking away to get a dictionary. I don't. I need to know. Hold on.
I'd like to use my third question. You said I kind of recognize the name. Who is he?
He is well, you don't need to use your clue for this because you recognize the name because of the washboard. The washboard, although it is a fairly small gig, a lot of voices come up to it, and Miranda has almost certainly played there at one point or the other. Maybe back even before you had a falling out.
Yeah. In which case, if I didn't use my question, then I will use the question to ask what he isn't telling us.
That's a good question. He is not telling you. He's not really worried about this. He's more worried about placating Martha. But he's willing to pony up for it.
All right. So Vanessa's just sitting there right now, just looking at
it. I think we can meet at the club tonight, maybe talk to Martha. Rest of you?
Certainly, I'll put your names on the guest list. I'll even give you a free drink on me.
On you say?
Behave, Vanessa. After the drink.
You want me to
I'll make sure it's a double.
Pain or discomfort in the stomach associated with the difficulty of digesting food. What?
No, that's indigestion. That's indigestion.
Oh.
Everything gives.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, I hope you clean up for tonight. It's we're a respectable club. I will see you all later, Miss Milstead.
I'll walk you to the door.
He takes his time walking along with you.
Yeah, as I wheel along, I just sort of say, in your line of work, I'm sure you meet many powerful people, performers, patrons, who might occasionally have needs that are not easy for them to fulfill. And I hand him a business card. You can count on me as a resource if you like.
Looks at it. Well, let's see how this goes, but I will definitely keep it in mind. Pocket. Breath takes your hand and kisses at it.
Oh, such a charmer you are. Don't worry, dear. I have great experience in calming down frightened women.
I am sure you do. And I'll see you tonight.
See you tonight.
He walks out into the rain. Even before the door closes, after a meter or so, you just can't see him anymore.
Turn around, we go back to the table.
Well, what do you think it might be? I want to know what song she might be singing.
I don't think the thing's after her.
Perhaps she
Because
left
it-
her ours or somebody else's in San Francisco.
Or is it maybe something she's summoning with her singing?
Possibly.
If she's a newly awakened, much like Orville.
Don't
That
say
make-
my name. What?
Yes, did you figure out the meaning of the word yet?
Showing luminous colors that seem to change when seen from different angles.
It is closer in spelling.
Just keep looking.
I think that's opaque, isn't it? Or
Iridescent, darling.
iridescent, yes.
A concept that I, of course, know quite well. And like she indicates her outfit.
Yes, and the sparkles. Yes, but we have to get Orville something to wear.
It is true. It is true. Brooke, darling, do you know why they might be after her?
Wait. I don't know for sure, but it's either maybe she has some kind of power that it needs, or they need her specifically for something, but I'm not for sure.
Or just somebody who's interested and a little overbearing and psychopathic.
That would never happen in our city.
The sleepers are just as screwed up as the riffs.
If one does
So-
not have an intimate connection with story, then one cannot have a full and proper life. Is that not so?
That is true. But we should get some information on her. Where is this Martha been for the last few years? Let's see if we can do any investigating. You got your computer there.
If you want, I can help.
Oh, where has she been living? You might have some connections at the post office.
Someone give me an investigation roll.
Can I use everything is postal and I know that place?
Yes, and you can take a +1 for being in the library from the.
Ooh, do I get a +1 too?
If you're both doing the roll for research, yes. Although only one of you really needs to do it. There's not that many clues you can get.
Okay, so then I won't do it. I'll let Orville do it.
Great success. Also, how
Great
am I a supply of water to land to help growth?
What?
I like
What?
That one was irrigate.
yeah.
You do smell like you are such. Like you would be quite nutritious for the plants.
What would you like to know? What are the three?
What were the
And again,
questions
you
that-
can keep one for later if you want.
Sure. What was the questions that we were asking?
My first question is, where has she been staying? That was what I had asked that you might be able to get at the post office. You know.
Yeah. Do
if-
they have? Am I able to pull up like a registry of public records of like who owns houses?
Yeah, you will find that no problem.
Yeah. That is, in fact, what I'd been asking you to research. So Sandra should be bringing it to you.
You see that she did own a house about 15 years ago, and it was a fairly expensive house. But that was then had to be sold, and you have a chain of addresses that seem to be going from the upmarket part of town down towards the more seedy parts over the last few years.
Okay. And Orville, for the second question, is going to go through all the microfiche to try to find like a headline of Old Star in downtown rundown bar, that kind of thing. Yeah, like one of those where are they now 20 years later pieces.
Yeah, where were they? Where are they now?
Yeah.
Well,
Like
where were they or where are they now?
Where are they now? Like, I want to know if there's any meaningful life updates that some Hobunk reporter wanted to find for TMZ a couple of years ago or something.
Well, yeah, over the so starting about a year and a half ago, there's been she's been making a name for herself again as being the most soulful singer in the city, the most soulful voice in the city.
How long ago was this?
About a year and a half.
So she's starting her grassroots movement back to popularity again.
Yeah, she's starting to make a comeback.
Yeah, okay. This is what I found. She lives here, or she used to live here. She sold that house, and public records have just kind of trailed off since then. And then apparently she's only been really back in the game for a year and a half. But you know what? Good for her. Singing ain't easy. A lot of people can do it.
Martha, 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 what could have caused such a downward spiral in your life?
Do you think she's running from something and it's starting to catch back up with her? Maybe that's why she took that break. Maybe this has happened before.
Elwood, you keep up much more current on the music scene than I do. Do you know what caused her to leave the spotlight?
You can use the last clue for it if you want.
Sure. I'll use my.
So about 5 years ago, there was an incident at one of the larger concert halls, where she had a breakdown on the stage, but not only her, it seems like most of the audience did as well. It was just people couldn't stopped going to see her. The feeling they had, their voice, they would still say it was the most soulful.
They were compelled
to see her. No, they couldn't handle it.
Oh,
the emotions were too much. Is the getting the proper feeling of blues. Really powerful, but it kind of ended their career. That big night, especially, it was like the start of it.
Huh. I've heard of people getting booed off stage. I've never heard of people get weeped off stage. That's weird. Huh.
I'm thinking maybe her voice caused it, or somebody singing. If it affected the audience, not just her.
I mean,
or somebody.
Were there
affected.
Pictures in any of these articles of the show?
Oh, there was pictures of her on stage looking very glamorous.
No ominous skinhead guy hanging out in the background of the images.
None that you can see.
I'm gonna wheel up behind Orville and just kind of peek. Height-wise, I can't peek over the shoulder, so I guess I'm kind of peeking under the elbow. To see if
selfie sticks are for.
Exactly. To see who was on the playlist, who's on the playbill rather, that night. If it was a solo show or if there were other acts on stage.
That night was just a solo show. At that point in her career, she was able to pull in the big crowds. So other than getting Orville some less pungent clothes.
Well, hopefully a shower and maybe a comb to his hair.
I just walked here. I walked an hour in the rain. I don't need a shower.
Have you seen the rain in the city, darling? It has more oil than some of the cars.
And I well lubricated
Not
the
wrong.
cracks. I don't like.
I'll take care of it. Come. Let us visit the shelter. I need to say hello to some friends anyway.
Oh, we don't need to go to the shelter. I could just walk into a gap, take what I need to walk out. It's not usually a problem.
Vanessa, I'll go with you to the shelter. There was a little girl that I met there last week that wanted me to bring her some books. So
Oh, lovely. We could make a trip. Bill?
Sure. Let's go shoplifting.
Huh? No crimes, please.
Don't tell Elwood that, Orville.
No one cares when I do it. Like, all I have to do is look at them. They don't care, just like I don't care. Like, it's fine.
That's not a good. How?
I have to see.
He's still. Can you control this, or just happen, Orville?
It just kind of happens, but it seems to happen in a very convenient and storyful way. That if I walked into a gap, they would probably just let me walk out with whatever they wanted me to.
Okay.
Would you say that it affect any of you?
That's what I was trying to figure out, if it affected any of us. Unless he targets us.
Orville is actionably not targeting you right now.
Would you say that you walk through the gaps in their theft prevention systems?
I
wouldn't, but you can.
Let's not discuss crimes, please. I don't want anything to. I'm in good standing at the university. I don't need any. I can't be associated with crime. I'll get in trouble. But if we're just investigating somebody doing a crime, I'll help. This poor girl. She obviously needs somebody to look after her.
Sure.
Well, then how about this, Elwood? We'll go do some shopping, and you can look into Martha, see if you can find out more about it.
Sure. Yeah, I see nothing, I know nothing. I know that line. I'm good with it.
One of these days, we should talk about how to healthily approach life. But until then, enjoy.
I will. And he will then start doing some more current research on Martha, what the reviews have been, looking at pictures that might have been taken during some of the more current shows, things like that, trying to dig up more current information. And I really have nothing I could tag at this time. I don't think
this you really have to, unless you want to.
I was just going to see if there, I don't think, like you said, there's many clues, but that's what he's going to be spending his time doing. And then going and finding something a little better than a Hawaiian shirt back at his house to wear to the outing. So why the rest of them are going? So why the rest of them are going to commit theft and illegal activities? I'm going to wander back home.
Okay, would anyone like to do anything before you head to the club?
Brooke would probably go change into something nicer.
Brooke Sweeting, on the way to the shelter. Brooke Sweeting, what books did this young girl want to read?
Just some fantasy books about princesses and dragons and,
Mermaids?
Yeah, she asked for a mermaid book. So I got her one. They weren't cheap, but I don't mind telling.
Magical rabbits?
Sadly,
such a good soul. Thank you for looking out for those many often overlooked. And I'll take Orville to the shelter, pick out clothes, get him in the shower, fuss over his hair. You'd look so good with some lipstick on, maybe a little blush.
Sure.
So start working my magic.
Why?
No matter what you do, nothing really seems to change. Or I mean, it does look different, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? There's just this air of
Yeah, every color you put on me is immediately muted for some reason.
I can work with this. I can work with this. We'll go for a monochromatic, like black and white movie look. That will work well with this strange effect you have.
What? Okay. How long is this going to take?
Pretty much until the show. Do you have something better to do, Poopsie?
No.
Well, then hush and let me fuss.
He lights up a cigarette.
Every once in a while, as I do the makeup, I pause, grab the cigarette from your fingers, take a puff, put it back in your fingers, and then go back to work.
Do you really want to do that?
Yes.
Every cigarette that Orville pulls out is from a small Ziploc bag that he keeps in his pocket of all the butts he's collected. Not a single one of them smokes properly. Most of them are oddly damp.
just
This
like
one tastes sandy.
Yeah, that's a Marlboro Black, I think. There was a real old guy in my building. He only smokes Marlboro Blacks and Winston 100s. They're not great cigarettes, but there's a lot of them.
They get the job done, I suppose.
Sure.
All right, now sit still, sit still. This is a bit of a careful bit. I have to flatten out the planes of your face with this gray foundation.
You don't have any planes on my face.
You're three-dimensional, aren't you?
Yeah, but nothing's flying on my face, though.
Well, this will, and I pick up some glitter and I like blow it in your face to give you
my eyes.
right
immediately you're blinded.
Window blind band. Oh, hush. It's not that bad.
You think?
One bit gets stuck in your eye, Orville. You just, no matter what you do, you just stuck there for the night. It's not coming out.
His right eye is going to be swollen for the rest of the day.
I bat his hand down. It's not that bad. Leave it be. You're going to ruin the effect.
Why? I imagine this is how it's going to go for the next 2 hours. As you
basically, yeah. We can keep playing this out. I'm happy to. I'm having fun.
It's just going to be me making noises. That's about it. We don't need to play the scene out anymore.
What do you mean if we just do it on a soft track and sell it as ASMR, or
No monetizing my games. Come on.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess Orville is in a pair of cargo pants now and a bomber, like a green bomber jacket and stuff like that. Whatever.
Despite the fact they were clean before, these stains that are somehow.
The second he puts them on, they immediately become saturated in body sweat. So, what I call it? It's just a damp, wrinkled mess.
That's the point of the bomber jacket. It's heavy. It doesn't really show moisture very well, so it's covering up a lot of sins.
Yeah, whatever, like Vietnam era, we found this in our granddad's basement right after he died. What I call it, clothes that they have there, Orville's not wearing.
Somebody cue that song about going thrift shopping. I can't remember what it's called.
No idea.
Not a
Dr. Green, are you doing anything before going to the club? Other than changing out of one Hawaiian shirt into a nicer one, I suppose?
Yeah, he's gonna put on some pants and change into some nicer looking.
You were at the library without pants?
No, he had shorts on.
Damn it.
He's gonna put on full length pants, and then he's gonna put on his good sandals. They closed toed, slide ons like clogs. So
the ones, if some people don't look close, they look like proper shoes.
Yeah.
And what about you? Oh, sorry. When you
go. Other than that, yeah, he basically goes through his greenhouse, and then he goes down into his basement. And down there, you see him taking care of his special plants. The ones very similar to what Vanessa was talking about in his private lab. But these things are huger than normal, like healthier, puffier, You also see some other flowers that are just, one looks like a big green bulb with some little red, like, blossoms about to appear in it. There's like 3 or 4 of those sitting around, but they're huge, like softball size. And just some very unusual plants of unusual size are in his lab downstairs. Many of them pharmaceutical in nature.
Brooke has changed into like what would be like a light bluish summer dress, and just put on like some cute little sandals, and she has put her hair into like a messy bun. Before she meets at the club, she does stop at like a convenience store and buys Orville some cigarettes and a lighter, like a pack of cigarettes and a lighter, so he can have his cigarettes.
They will be lost almost immediately.
I tried.
Time comes around. The rain kind of eases off a little bit. Are you meeting out in front of the club?
Yeah, I would say that Vanessa gets there pretty close to first and is standing outside the club watching people pass by.
Where is this in the city, Mark?
It is downtown. In the depths of downtown. Let's see if I can...
Trying to open the map and it's not cooperating with... There we go.
Yeah, there's seeming to do special things.
Okay, so it's across the river. Okay.
Yeah. It's across the river. The area it's in, it's full of old brownstones, old tenements. Place that was probably never that upmarket, but old. It's been there, at least 100 years, if not longer. Not the club itself, but the building. The washboard is in the cellar. Yeah, there's basically underground. You've got a small door flanked by 2 large bouncers. Yeah, both are sleepers. Both are just basically big meat shields standing in front, taking tickets, opening up the rather shabby red velvet partition. Once you all arrive, you can hear music coming from inside. So some kind of jazz band at the moment, piano, trumpet, trombone, staccato rhythm. The place looks cheap. It looks like it's not the sort of place that people with money would spend a lot of time in. Saying that, though, the queue outside seems to be relatively upwardly mobile people.
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those seedy bars that seems to be getting its time in the limelight. Someone discovered it, and you've got the singer there, these bands, and it's really cheap. It's a dive, looks terrible, but so good.
kind of
Over the front, you see. Sorry.
Says this the kind of place that you can go to like specifically buy cocaine? Is that like,
Yes.
part of the appeal? Okay.
Yes, definitely. The
What sort of bars have you been to?
Don't ask.
Vanessa is definitely picking out where the known dealers are, because like the Poor Unfortunate Souls power tag, I know where the people who deal, I know who they are. So I'm like just noting their locations and their clientele.
as you approach the door, you go into the front of the queue or standing in the queue?
I go to the front of the queue.
How long is the line?
I mean, it's probably about 10 people in line. The bouncers don't seem to be very motivated to let people in. They're taking their time, chatting away.
Does the line seem to be moving?
You saw someone go in a couple of minutes ago.
Orville will go stand in the back of the line as proper. You know, you should wait your turn. Do it right.
For completely opposite reasons to Orville, Vanessa is right next to him as he goes to the front of the line. No, Elwood. It's fine. I'm sure they know me here.
Sorry, but thank you very much to Grim and Perilous for reading us.
Hello. Greetings. Hello.
Greetings.
Lollygaggers. Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's get back to me being saying M a lot. Thank you very much for the raid. So, you're sending Orville to the back of the queue?
I was interrupting sending Orville to the back of the queue, saying, it's okay, Elwood. They probably know me here. And for very opposite reasons to Orville, was also going to the front of the line.
But shouldn't we properly wait our turn?
I don't think with those two that waiting our turn is going to get us anywhere. And Brooke reluctantly follows behind the two of them, like.
Elwood sighs, and then his massive frame walks behind all of them. So
Yeah,
he stands about 7'3".
Yes, he towers above the bouncers, which they have noticed. And professional pride being what it is, they're pulling themselves up taller. You can see that they're one of them starts to get a look on his face.
Open the door,
your
please.
entry.
Open the door, please. It's hard to do it myself.
One starts, and a massive hand falls on the shoulder. You hear a mumbling from behind him, and the one that wasn't looking like he was going to be a dick opens up the velvet partition. Please, this way. Mr. Jefferson's waiting on you.
Elwood, don't you remember we were on the list? Why would you wait your turn?
Because it's the proper thing to do.
Not when you're
everybody.
Look, lines are just another way of a system trying to oppress those who are trying to do their best in life. And if I want to walk through that door, I'm going to walk through that door.
You know, Orville, sometimes I remember how much everyone underestimates you. That was quite impressive.
Sure. I'm just trying to live my life, lady.
Oh, I have something for you, and she'll like reach in her like purse and pull out like the cigarettes and the lighter and just here.
Oh, that's too nice for me.
As she hands them to you.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't going to take
into the darkness. Oh no! They fall into the darkness, and the big bouncer who came in behind is starting to push you all forward. Come, Mr.
Excuse me. Has no one told you that it's rude to push a person's wheelchair without asking first?
Of course. However, if you want to take it down the stairs yourself, you're more than welcome to, miss.
You don't have an elevator?
No, the washboard does not have an elevator.
I've done it before. It's just horribly undignified.
Welcome to the washboard.
And I'll fetch, as I pass, I'll fetch the cigarettes and lighter from the ground and just put them in my purse.
Yeah.
And
they're already a little bit crushed, you notice.
Yep. And so yeah, when we're going down the stairs, she's got like one hand on the left wheel and her right hand on the banister of the staircase, and is very slowly working her way down.
Allow me to help, Vanessa. And he grabs the back of the wheelchair to help balance and support. That's why I asked.
You didn't wait for a yes, though.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be overly kind, I guess.
You're doing a poor job.
Then how may I assist you if you wish it, Vanessa?
Step back and let Brooke help.
Oh.
Brooke, would you mind?
Sure.
And he looks dejected.
He is not strong. See Brooke like, I don't know if I should be the one doing this.
You're doing a great job, dear.
Okay. Jesus Christ. It's starting to
The staircase is kind of dilapidated, so as you go down, you can hear creaks and maybe a little snap on the way. But it doesn't take you long to get down safely. Another curtain hanging for the entrance into the actual club. When you
How
go
tall
in,
are the ceilings in here, Mark? Just because I'm such a taller character, I have to keep that in
it's an
mind.
old brownstone, so they're very, very tall. You know, you've got a good 3 meters.
10, 12 feet. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's dark. Yeah, the lights, most of them are functioning, but fairly weakly. There's red lights all coming from behind the bar. There's 2 bartenders. Jefferson's waiting for you just as you come in. The band seems to be reaching a crescendo, finishing up their set. There's quite a few people in the bar's fairly packed, but you can smell the stale cigarette smoke. Feel the peanuts littering the floor, the stink of beer that hasn't been cleaned up properly in a while. You made it! You made it! Oh, wonderful. He takes Vanessa's hand again, gives it a kiss. I'm so glad, and your friend here managed to get some clothes that, well, they fit, at least. That's
Looked
something.
better before they were on him.
I'm sure they did. I've reserved a table for you down the front, so you can get best seats in the house.
Is it just Martha singing tonight?
Yep, she'll be doing her. She's the headline act. She's the star. She'll be. Wait a minute. Are those boys keeping people from getting in again? Cyrus, the large bouncer that let you in, that came to let you in, nods. Show them to the table, please. I need to go and speak to, the idiots upstairs.
Before you do, any sign of our other friend?
The
Tuesday?
Skinhead.
The bald one.
No, the boys wouldn't let him in.
Oh, so he did
Never
come
came
on.
by. No, if he did come around. Don't worry, we're on high alert for him. Not going to let anyone ruin Miss Ellis's night.
You're a good boy.
Cyrus takes you over to the table as Jefferson goes through the curtains, heads upstairs. There's kind of a nice buzz to the atmosphere round about. Cyrus says, "Here you go. I'll send the waitress over." Walks off.
Elwood sits in center on the table facing the stage, but he's very tall. He's 7'3". He's blocking everybody behind him. And he's not a small guy to begin with. He's fairly wide too. So almost most of the people behind him cannot see the stage. Just to paint the picture. And he's just waiting patiently.
Orville will sit down next to Dr. Elwood, and immediately he starts searching his hand underneath the table for any loose gum that may have been put there recently.
It's your lucky day. You find a nice clump right under where you're sitting.
How long does it seem to be until the show starts?
Well, it's the last band just stopped, so you probably got about a good 15, 20 minutes before the headliner comes on.
Can I see where, like, is there a like corridor to the dressing rooms or anything of the like that's visible?
Yeah, I should meant to actually share a picture with you, but I'll leave it for just now. Yeah. Actually, I will share the picture with you. Should give me 2 seconds.
1,000. I'm a bitch.
That's okay. I'm used to it. I will just stick it into Discord just now.
Oh, Discord. Okay.
Yeah. Can't be arsed messing about with Roll20.
So, stage bathroom.
Oh, this place is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Okay, this is
it's actually very roomy.
Okay.
Sorry, I meant to say it holds about 200 people.
Yeah, I was imagining a lounge that was like a bar with like 3 seats and a small corner stage. This is a proper stage. Okay.
It's a proper club. Yeah, I was imagining also a bar.
Okay. Did they sell drinks around the house, or?
The first round, he said he was buying us a drink, or at least. But there's a 3-drink minimum, probably.
There is indeed. The waitress comes over, take your order. What'll it be?
I'll just have some water.
Okay, is that tap water or?
Just water. New water shop.
Okay.
I'll have a Sazerac.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
I'll have a Sazerac, but add a good dose of Campari to it if you wouldn't mind.
Good dose of Campari. You're friends with Mr. Jefferson, yeah?
We are.
Yep, no problem.
Very good friends.
What about you, handsome? She kind of stutters the handsome part.
Talking to me?
Of course.
I'll take a. Can I get a White Russian in a pint glass? But can you replace the Kahlua with gin?
Sure, honey. That's sure, of course.
I'll have a cup of coffee and a shot of whiskey.
Okay, I'll put the whiskey on Mr. Jefferson's tab.
Yes.
She walks off. You see her talking to some other patrons, putting a hand down, touching shoulders. Seems very friendly and nice. What do you want to do?
Are there any other patrons in here?
There are probably about 3/4 of the tables are already filled up.
Looking around, excuse the little shithead.
Can I approach any of them? Like, do any of them look like they're regulars talking about the previous performances?
You could definitely, if you give me an investigate roll.
Sure. I will give you an investigate roll.
Any tags you'd like to add?
Well, I don't think. Does I'm as dry as toast help here? Are these people the kind of personalityless, soulless scumbags that I think that they are?
Some of them are, definitely, yes.
Okay. I'm going to try to use that tag, if you would let me. And
yes.
maybe who are you, so that they don't, so that they're like, oh, hey, a new person.
You can have that, but I also want you to use the weakness tag. I'm stressed out. I'm going to lie down.
Okay. Yeah.
This is quite a few people. So when you use that, you can mark a crack on that theme.
Only if he fails. Isn't that when he gets the crack?
No. If you use the, if you invoke the things at all.
Do you mean a crack or do you mean a?
That is another great success. Hey, You hear about that guy that died the other day?
Yeah, I did.
Were you there for it?
The one that was here. No, well, I was here that night, but I wasn't there when it happened. This is a kind of, doesn't look, it's not one of these kind of yuppies that are there. It's a guy who's already on his 5th, 6th drink. About as clean and tidy as Orville is. But seems to be a little bit more lively. Yeah, sure. Come on, sit down. I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, what happens?
Martha was great that night. She was brilliant. And there was this guy. You know, she always seems to find. You know, if you're feeling down, you can just feel what she's singing. It's hard to, if you've not heard her sing, it's kind of hard to describe. But she's always able to find the one that, you know, who really needs it the most.
Her words can heal a real blistered spirit, huh?
No, I wouldn't say they could heal. Just, you know, it's what you need. Anyway, so yeah, that night there was this guy and he was there with some friends. Probably. Yes, I did mean attention. So yeah, I was here with some friends and looked really out of place. You know, I was going to go over and speak to him, but I kind of get caught up with something else. And yeah, you know what it is. But anyway, so yeah, sorry, what's your name?
Oh, me? You can call me Orville.
Nice to meet you, Orville. Have you been here before? Yeah, he seems kind of scattered.
Nah, this is my first time. I heard it was a great place. If you just, you know, were really unhappy with your life and you just needed a place to go. And I also heard a guy died here the other day. Kind of hoping to see that again. If it was me, it wouldn't have been that bad. It probably won't be that bad either. But you know, that's just neither here nor there.
He did some of the life seems to, like, not life, but some of the verb seems to drain out from a bit as you speak to him. Starts to get so leached out and his voice becomes more monotone. Yeah, I know what you mean. So, you know, it's been a hard couple of days. Yeah, this guy you're asking about, when we were all leaving, you know, I'm usually one of the last to leave. I like to speak to the band and stuff. This guy, Fox or something was his name. He got to stay behind. I think Martha was going to give him a song, you know, just to give him that little push that he might need. I mean, I've never needed it myself, but maybe one of these days, I'd be grateful to have it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I recently found a group who's really been pushing me, and I can't say that, you know, it helps in the long run. At the end of the day, you really gotta want to get better yourself, you know.
Oh, definitely. What step are you on?
What step?
You found a group? Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean like a friend group.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
I you know, no judgment to you if you go to those groups. Like I knew a guy once. The only time he could ever cry is when he went to those groups. He had a lot of other issues, but yeah, I you know, I don't want to bother a bunch of strangers with my issues. That's why I come here, to be miserable with everyone else.
Best place to do it. Just listening to her voice it brings it all out, you know.
Yeah, it's nothing better than a good cry in a dark corner of a room.
Yeah, well, he starts to kind of push back a bit from you. Yeah. Look, I need to go to the bar and get another drink as the waitress comes and puts another drink in front of him. Yeah, I need to go to the toilet. It's
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand. Where's my gin and creamer?
Oh, handsome, it's over there on the table.
Oh, cool. What was your name again, guy?
The guy's going off. Yeah, there's Henry. I'll see you later on. It's Orville, yeah.
Remember,
it scurries off.
Your problems are minuscule according to the universe. Okay, go ahead. He walks back to the table.
Looking around, Mark, I wanted to just see if there were any other noticeable rifts.
There's some people that you can't tell if they're rifts or not, but there are none that are exuding power.
Okay.
When Orville comes back to the table, he sees 3 cigarettes in pristine condition and a lighter sitting in front of him. It's sitting at his seat, like somebody put it down and forgot it there.
Everything coming up Orville. He picks one up, immediately snaps off the filter. Shit. Oh, that's the way it goes.
Vanessa then passes Brooke a business card that has some writing on the back of it.
He looks at it. Is there anything? What's written on the back of it?
That's how you give him a gift.
Ah. She'll just put it in her purse.
Vanessa's also going to be like watching the room and trying to get a feel of the flow of things. If there's anyone who seems like they've got unusually ulterior motives going on, or seems shifty or anything of the like. So just kind of getting a general sense of the room.
Plenty of people seem shifty.
In an unusual way, yeah. Anything that stands out amongst the general background of sleaze.
No, the moment, no, it's just lots of groups of friends, lots of people who seem kind of excited by being in a place this dingy. You know, really slumming it and really enjoying doing it. Yeah.
Okay. We'll engage in some advertising. We'll use my mind control powers to have the waitress slip my business card like underneath the drinks to some of the people who look wealthier, like they're slumming it.
Give me change the game.
Okay.
Ooh. Roll, please.
So mind control. Would if you want to cross a bridge, you have to pay the toll, but would that work at all or no?
No, not for this one.
Eye for a bargain.
You'll fall in love with me.
You'll fall in love with me? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say poor unfortunate souls in which no one wants to admit to visiting. Yay, nay, too many.
No, I would say possibly no, none of them. Eye for a bargain, definitely. What was it? You'll fall in love with me. Mind control, yeah.
Okay. And just to try to spam for essentially experience points, every contract has an escape clause, which is a weakness tag.
Why would that be?
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Good help is hard to find, but dang
it. Okay. Can I activate that posthumously?
Yes. So we take one away. It gives you a 7. And a 7 is
same result, yeah. So I get
mild
2
success.
Yeah.
So 2 power, so you get 2 juice.
Yep. Burn a power tag or a short tag, get or reduce a status. All right, I'm just gonna hold on to that for now, I think.
Right, no, but if you're wanting to, right, so you can hold the juice.
Uh-huh.
And you get, oh no, sorry, you spend it 1 for 1 to get the following effect. So you're wanting to create, you're wanting to give her a status, is what you're wanting.
Oh, you're right, I am. Thank you for helping me see my way through the system.
What are you here for?
It's going to be a positive status, and I think it's going to be, what would you call that? Fixer? It's going to be, no, it's going to be, all your dreams can come true, too.
Okay.
And for hitting good help is hard to find, I add attention to hearts or just toys. Is that right?
Boom, boom. Yeah.
For using this. Mhm.
So what this is going to be is this will only be temporary. So let's say she can give it out to 3 different people.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be able to go for long. So even with the things of 2. Yeah. Let's say she gives out to 3 people, but it's people that really seem like they're going to want to, but for some reason she's able to make her way through, and people that might want to use it.
Okay. So she's made herself known to some of the more powerful people in the crowd.
Yes. So we got about 5 minutes before Martha comes on.
All the while this has been going on, other than Elwood looking around to see if there's other rifts, he's just kind of sitting there very uncomfortable with all the people around him.
Right, you're looking for the rest. What do you have anything about seeing beyond the mist? Do you have any power?
I do not specifically have anything for that.
Okay. No, nothing really comes to mind. Anything you want to do in the 5 minutes before she comes on?
Can I try something?
Yes, of course.
Brooke just feels very uncomfortable. And so when she starts to feel uncomfortable, she immediately goes into like defense mode. So that way she's ahead of what may happen. So I would like to, hold on, I'll pull up my character sheet. I just had it up, sorry. I would like to use her Aqua Star shield and just create a shield around, like an invisible shield around all of us, just in case.
Okay. Then roll change the game, please.
I got a 10.
Hey.
Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. So
great success.
2 things. So you can spend your juice to create the story tag, blah, blah, blah. So you want to create the tag and you want to scale it up so it affects all of you.
So like
That'll be
if anyone,
Aqua Shield.
if anyone notices her, if anyone sitting next to her would look over her necklace. The best way to describe her necklace is probably like maybe like what looked like the heart of the ocean from Titanic. But it's basically what it looks like. And it would glow for like a few seconds, and then it would dissipate. So it would be like instant, but unless you're looking at the necklace, you wouldn't really notice
Right,
it.
so we'll say it's So Aqua Shield 1 and its area of effect, so around the table. So if any of you go out with the table or out with a certain distance from Brooke, you would lose the things of it. Anything else?
No one's like looking at us, right?
No, not particularly.
Okay. Not even as Orville is chugging a glass of gin and heavy cream.
Maybe 1 or 2 people do look at that and swiftly head towards the toilet.
Okay. Orville's more trying to go for it. Like, are we a target for being here? But apparently not.
The lights dim. Kind of red comes up behind the stage. Jefferson walks out into the stage, and the moment you're all here for, welcome to the stage, the most soulful voice in the city, Miss Martha Ellis. And the band strikes up from behind the stage, and the curtain raises, and you see this woman in her mid-50s, looking kind of so fairly big woman, but voluptuous, I would say. She's wearing a sequin dress and a feather boa. And her voice comes out, and all of you can hear that it really is probably the most soulful voice you've ever heard. Orville, you see that as she starts to sing, her eyes meet yours for a second. And kind of doesn't quite stutter, but the voice, she like misses a note, but then carries on. And every few moments, she looks back towards you, and there's no smile on her face. She looks kind of quizzical. You can feel that she is sad. I mean, that's the most boring way to put it. But every time, she just keeps coming back to you. She's looking out over the crowd and seems to smile, and then her eyes light on you, and it's smile drops for a second. Tone maybe goes a little bit lower.
Can I use my aura to kind of dull her emotions towards me whenever she glances?
Yeah, you can give me a change the game with a -2.
Sure. Can I use the tag, how about we table that? Just
yes,
like...
can.
Question, does the Aqua Shield protect him against this as well?
Brooke, is the Aqua Shield only against physical damage, or?
I'm looking at.
I mean, there's no damage being done at the moment.
I think it's just physical damage based on how it does.
And while she's singing, I want to know if she's triggering any rift abilities, obvious or...
Nothing
I don't know
obvious, no.
Okay.
So for obvious rift things would be like with Dr. Green, things that are very physical.
Yeah, I'm just if I would notice the effect being a rift and aware of these things, would we be able to make some sort of him?
No, she's just
not like she had the specific. Yeah, she's just making eyes at. Unless you have a specific ability that would let you know that.
Just asking.
I'm going to say, based on what I read for this power, it does both, based on what I understand. So it protects physical and.
Can I make one further inquiry there, Mark?
Of course you can.
Do I get that this is like a flirtatious thing? Can I use get in line, buddy? Of just like...
No, it does not seem flirtatious. Okay. It seems more confused.
Sure. I'll make that roll then. Mild success.
Right, so ask your question. What would you like?
I am trying to figure out if this is a look of recognition, pity, like what is the masked feeling that she is actually feeling, not the one that she feels like she's feeling when she sees me.
Recognition and surprise.
Okay.
Right, but you also need to choose one. Your investigation exposes you to danger. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete. That's not really applicable here. Or whoever or whatever you are asking the questions can ask you one question as well, and you answer in the same terms.
Yeah, she can have whatever. Orville is pretty easy to read. Like, what is she trying to discern from me?
What hurts you?
You know, a guy who has worked for as long as Orville has, as well as tried as hard as Orville has in the past, has a hard time accepting that the best he's ever going to achieve is being a mediocre white guy in a city. And that genuinely hurts.
By the end of this song, you know, you've got this feeling of her, you know what she's feeling, but you know that she got something from you. You don't know what it is, but you know that she got something from you, and there's kind of a smile. And then the lights go down. There's kind of commotion over at the stage. And the lights come back up. Jefferson standing there, Sammy standing there. Very sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Ellis isn't feeling very well tonight. Of course, I will give you a ticket to come back for tomorrow's show. Please don't worry about it. 3-drink minimum doesn't stand for tonight. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sure she'll be feeling better tomorrow. People grown.
Looking
so-
quizzically at what happened. What are we seeing, Mark? What are they doing? Taking her off stage? Did she collapse?
She- well, yeah, but your eyesight's fairly good, so you would have seen her move off the stage. That's that's why there was kind of a the sound of things moved and but as if she rushed off, and then he came on. So it seems
Okay.
seems to you that it's she has. And
She rushed off with something, not like she collapsed around. That's what I was
Yes.
after. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, we were here to see her. Should we wait a few moments and then go, or?
Where does Jefferson go after making the announcement?
He comes down towards you, the table. Yeah, look, I'm really sorry. Martha's not feeling great.
I have some skill with potions and medicines and things. Perhaps you can take me to see her. Maybe I can help.
Yeah, she wants to have a word with you all. Actually, I told her why you were here. You know, it's just look. You know why I want you. Why I want you to help us. I want to make sure she's okay. Yeah, she's got a gig in a week that could make it for both of us. Yeah, and if you can all help, that's great. As I said, he puts a bundle of money on the table. I'm willing to pony up for your help.
Sir, look.
Orville? The money's a good start.
Yeah, but if he has the money, like, honestly, therapy would probably be like one of the better options in terms of, mental health. Yeah, people are dying around here, but like
That woman
hiring
needs her pain for her voice.
Okay.
Yeah. And music helps people, it's that it helps people. It helps them. You see the people coming here, they love to hear her sing.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about recompense for our actions later. For now, let us accrue the debt. Take us to see her.
Exactly.
You take the money?
Yes. She took the money and then said, we'll talk about recompense later.
Take
Point
the
of order.
story tag. Gift 1.
Gift 1?
Gift 1, yes.
Okay. Orville's just like, point of order. If you take a payment, you're no longer accruing. That's a prepaid. Okay.
Eye for a bargain.
It's cash, right?
Brings out the dictionary.
Look, he does have the dictionary from the library with him still.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like the exact opposite of what accrue means.
So does he take us up the stairs to the stage and back?
Yes, he does.
I have a question.
Yes.
During her whole performance, would I have noticed that she kept looking at Orville?
If you were paying attention, yeah. That one wasn't exactly subtle.
Okay, well, with that being said, I'm going to pull Orville aside as we're walking, go meet with her and be like, hey, you okay? Are you and her, like, make eye contact a lot. It was kind of weird. Are you okay?
Weird? What? I mean, like, look, sometimes people make, invisible connections across the room of a bar and with a couple hundred people in the way between them. That can happen sometimes. Sometimes you just like look at a person and then you're like, oh, this person understands me on a metaphysical level. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I think she was flirting with you, Orville.
It's
And Elwood looks as uncomfortable as you've probably seen him before. He does not like being down here underground in this little cramped, smoke-filled place.
Here's the thing. I don't think it was flirting. When two people make that kind of connection, sometimes it's just an understanding.
And that's a sentence I've said before, Orville.
Yeah, but you usually have your clothes off when you make that kind of thing, I imagine.
What can I say? People will pay a lot of money for a body like this one.
I mean, sure. I'm not going to judge you in your life decisions. Lord knows I've made mine. But yeah, I don't look. You don't need that. What happened between me and her, and however you want to read into it. At the end of the day, it doesn't actually mean anything. If I go into her room right now, we aren't going to be best friends. Like, it's just people with pasts know other people with pasts without really needing to say things.
Well, did you feel anything interesting that you might tell us when she was?
She seems hurt. She was able to read me pretty well. It's not. I don't. It makes me uncomfortable putting words in her mouth without her being present.
But okay. Your intuition might be good.
There's something there. That's all I can tell you. With any reasonable, actionable things, and ultimately it's her business. Even if we were making eyes at each other to, disclose it to us. And, I may be able to push her in the direction, doesn't mean that necessarily it's something that people want to say out loud.
That's fine.
Jefferson coughs. So if you're ready?
Yes, keep pushing. Push me up. You really should install a ramp on this stage.
It is on my list of things to do, my lady. Well, it is since I met you, at least.
Well, perhaps we can make that part of your payment.
That seems reasonable. The door opens on what can only really be seen as a converted storage room. It's tiny. The walls, though, are plastered with posters of Martha Ellis's performances, going over years and years. There's one of those vanity mirrors with the light bulbs all around it. There's an ashtray filled with cigarette butts. Hands off, Orville. Bottle of scotch, almost empty. And Martha sitting on a fairly rickety seat with the cigarette holder in hand and feather boa hung over the chair. Glass of whiskey in hand. Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that.
How are you feeling?
Much better now, thank you. Dear Sammy told me that he's asked you to help find this monster.
Is it possible that it's maybe like a scorned lover, or maybe something like success fan, or maybe?
To be honest, years ago, there was an incident, and myself and the audience had a breakdown. And as good as my voice is, I think someone might have done that. These
What do you
people that
mean?
have died, well, how can you, unless everyone was drugged, how could everyone have had a breakdown at one of my concerts?
Ah, okay. You said that how?
And it's been years, but these people, the Darnell, he died right in front of me, and I saw how he died. It was sadness, it was grief. His heart broke in front of me.
Were you singing at him at the time, or did you talking?
I was singing, and then I saw this man coming with the hood, and then poor Darnell dropped dead.
You heard the description you gave her. Jefferson was telling us the man was covered in tattoos and with a hoodie or a robe, just like a hoodie.
Yeah,
you
it
see.
was just a black hoodie, something I don't know. I didn't see any band or anything on it, but what I'm thinking is poor Darnell and Tiffany and Adam died of broken hearts. Maybe this guy tried to ruin my career. Maybe that's why he's coming back now. Maybe that's why, just as I'm finding my feet again, he's trying to make this seem like something with me and trying to ruin me.
Definitely.
Oh, good.
I was going to say definitely a possibility, but now you were saying that he was covered in tattoos. How did you see these? Or what? Anything distinct in those?
No, I really only saw him for a second. I didn't really see the tattoos as much that time. It was more at the funeral home.
Okay, and you said he killed them? How would he have done this? Or you just saw him there standing?
He looks at Sammy and looks at all of you. Look, we all know that this city is special. I don't think it's a coincidence that they drop dead like that. I mean, these are young, healthy people.
Oh, your drink is getting low, dear. Let me make you another glass.
Now, did this man touch these people or just watch from the room?
Just looked at them. Well, I don't know about Tiffany. I wasn't there, of course.
But for what you saw, that's all I'm asking you to describe.
Yeah, they came while I was singing, and he looked at them, and this look came over their faces that just...
Now, did he enter through a door, or did he just seem to... I'm asking that, and did he just appear?
I don't know how he came. I think Cyrus came and chased him off. And at the funeral home, there was enough people there, and they screamed, and he ran away.
Awesome. Others have seen him. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's not on my mind. I'm not crazy. That's what they said back then, and I knew I wasn't crazy.
I'm by no means saying you're crazy. This, as you said, this city is strange. Probably more strange than you're aware of.
Here you go, dear. Here's your next drink.
Thanks you.
And I want to have slipped a benthic potion in there that will cause her to sort of break out in fish scales if she's a rift. If I can make a roll for that.
You can make a roll for it. Change the game with a -4.
Oof. Well, I've got benthic potions and bodily transformation, which is broad. I don't think I have any other power tags.
No, that's fine.
Total
-2.
Change the game. Result was an 11.
It should be a -2. No, it should be a -2, not a 2.
Oh, I thought he did that right.
No, you need to have the -4 on it.
Oh. I had -4. It says power -2. It's weird.
Wait.
No, you have a positive too.
Yeah, I see it there, but when I look at to make the roll, it says -2. Let me try clicking it again.
It does.
When you hover over the roll, it didn't.
There we go.
Add it.
Yeah.
All right, so I missed.
What hurts you? What pains you?
Deep down, Vanessa knows that even if she had the power to to change everything, to give the houseless houses and the voiceless voices, and to create all of the justice she longs for. It is ultimately founded upon her being angry that her father discarded her when she was younger. And she will end up being just exactly the same as the people she is fighting if she is ever given the power to enact the justice that she wants to enact. And so she knows that ultimately her quest is either doomed to smallness or just plain futile.
Well, that takes the glass from you. Like, I think maybe I've had enough for tonight, but thank you. Hank pushes it to the side. She looks at Orville. Do I know you from somewhere?
Well, I highly doubt that, but I just have one of those faces. Do I know you from somewhere, though?
I don't know. What did you think of the song, Orville?
I'm more of a samba man myself, but
I know the feeling.
you know,
Something to bring a smile to your face.
Yeah, you know, something about ambient samba just really soothes the soul for me. But you seem to be very proficient in the music that you do.
Proficient. Thank you. Yeah, I suppose that is a very good way to.
I wouldn't know, honestly. It's not my place. Where were we going with this?
Sorry,
did you know me?
thought,
Right.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Unless a third voice from above me tells me that I know you somehow. I don't think I do.
I don't know. You just seem so familiar. It's strange, but yeah, just one of those things, I suppose. Anyway, I apologize for stopping tonight. If I can be of any more help to you, please just let me know. And if you can find this guy and stop him, then
does he only show up when you sing?
I've only seen him twice myself. I didn't see him back then, but it seems too much of a coincidence. The way we all felt that night, and then the way these people are dying. It's.
Do you guys want to try to set up a trap for him tonight?
Well, I was thinking, I mean, if it only happens when she sings and she's not feeling well, we shouldn't force her.
Are you actually feeling bad, or do you just not want to perform?
I always want to perform, darling.
Oh,
it's what I do. Just
how about you give me a personal song out on the stage?
She looks at you for a second. Roll convince.
Convince? Okay. Do I have anything? Would Master Haggler be part of this?
Yeah, okay. Master Haggler would be fine.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else that'll help me here, unless dry as toast helps.
No.
Mild success.
Okay. So you can choose. You can give a relevant status with T equals your power.
I'm sorry.
So you can give a relevant status with a tier 1, and she can either choose to take the status or give in a little, protect her own agenda.
Okay. Is there sorry, I've never done this before. Is there an example of statuses I can give? Can I give her confidence?
I don't think confidence would be the one for there. I would say intrigued 1.
Sure, that sounds about right.
It gives you the kind of another kind of smile. I think that sounds like a very good idea, actually, but not tonight.
Yeah, I think we should definitely find a place to do that, and we can set up a trap. So yeah,
no, I was meaning to sing for Orville. I don't think a trap is I don't want to be put in danger.
No one around me should be able to commit violence towards you.
and I'm more thinking if we can find him or draw him, we can capture him. I'm sure there are ways to protect you. And looking at and we got a few other friends who aren't here today. They were traveling.
Come back on Friday night, which is in 2 days. Okay.
Sure.
We will. Should be a good concert. There should be a good gig that night, and then afterwards, I'll sing just for you. I'll come up with the best song, just for
And-
you. Orville.
Can I request a song?
Of course you can.
Okay. Like, I know this isn't exactly like your thing, but like The Man Who Sold the World is just like the best Bowie hit. And I think it would work very well in your style.
I will certainly give it a try.
Sure.
And we want Mark to sing it next session.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So you want no one to ever listen to this channel again? Fair enough.
Well, the good thing is, I don't think that they'll give us a DMC strike notice if you sing it.
This is true. Yeah. This is true. Then we
I
can
think
have
that
any
falls
music we
under
want to have.
transformative performance.
It'll be
They might
transformative.
put it in this parody.
Can I roll an investigation to get insight into her after she is? I think I would add poor unfortunate souls. He threw us away, and if you want to cross a bridge, you've got to pay the toll. Because I specifically want. I'll tell you what my question is. I specifically want to know what she's going to do with those 2 days. Would you accept that role?
I don't think there's a way for you to find out what she would do with those 2 days.
Okay, it's not. I can't just.
No.
You have to have a way to actually get the information.
Cold reading was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not for that detail.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
What you could get from it is how she's feeling about it. If she's anxious, if she's whatever, but that would also be kind of colored by whatever she is feeling just now. Trying to get something that specific out of it would be difficult.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, if you need us before Friday, here's my card.
And she takes it. Thank you, darling.
I would give you my cell phone number, but I dropped my phone in the toilet about a week ago.
That's happened to me before as well.
Yeah.
You can also contact me. Here's my number, and he'll rattle it off. 555-5555-5555.
It's a great number.
That's very close to my number.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I think I need to get some rest. Sammy will show you out and make sure you've got tickets for Friday.
Yes.
And look, thank you again. Please be careful if you do see this man.
I think he's the one who should worry about us, but you rest well. I'm looking forward to your performance on Friday.
As am I. And Sammy half bows, shows you to the door. Place is already empty. The chairs put up on the tables. The cleaning is being rather haphazardly done. You could say you missed a spot and it would mean just about the whole place. Sammy doesn't seem to care very much. When you step out, well, Vanessa, do you need help getting upstairs?
I think it's downstairs if I remember the map correctly. But yeah, then there's a few stairs. Oh, up the stairs.
Yeah, but then you need to go up. Yeah.
It's easier to get oneself up, so she is going to try.
Yeah.
Um,
She'll be able to, no problem. Again, just creaking, things breaking a little bit, and yeah. But when you get out, the rain has stopped. There's no traffic. There's no one waiting there.
As soon as we step outside, Elwood is taking some really deep breaths to get that polluted, smoky icks out of them.
The air
then-
is, not exactly clean, but it's cleaner than it was down there. You can see,
Yeah.
you can still, when you breathe in now, there is life there somewhere.
And you can see the
That-
sky.
You can. And in the sky, you see the birds flying around, crows and ravens. The camera
Wonderful.
pans up. The bird's eye view of the city. The mist is, unlike when we saw it in the past, it's patchy. Tower that we saw before is nowhere to be seen. You hear the call of the ravens. And the camera closes off. And that's where we'll leave it for this evening.
Very good. The mystery begins.
Dun dun dun.
See, we just need that chipmunk now, and that's it. Well, we will be back in 2 weeks' time for the next episode of Broken Night. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah.
Have a good night or day or whatever it is for the rest of you. Bye now.